Travel Channel fans. I'm Deanne from the online team. We are back with more music festival coverage. We are talking all things hair and fashion. I've got hairstylist guru extraordinaire Jeremy with us. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
Great, and we've got Danielle here from the HGTV team. Now, if you missed her Facebook Live earlier today, she taught you how to shibori, the dress that you see here. Be sure to check that out after this one. So Jeremy, let's talk about hair.
Cool.
Now, you're out in the sun all day at a music festival, you're sweaty, it's humid. How do you look fabulous?
Yeah, well that's the thing. So at a festival, you obviously want to look your best, look your coolest, but it needs to be extremely functional too. So you want things out of your face, you want things not to get as sweaty or as oily.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk a bit about today. Obviously it needs to be really easy too, so that not everyone has to be the most talented braider in the world.
That's great.
So today we will teach you how to do a simple braid on one side to keep it out of the way. And then also on the other side, we're going to teach you how to do a braid that looks like a French braid, but that really isn't, so that it's really nice and quick. You'll notice that this season and next season, things are going a little bit away from braided crowns and more into a tribal look. So at the end, we'll also add some hair jewelry and also temporary hair color and how to do that its best as well.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to see the final look. Now, okay, you mentioned that this is not a French braid style, but it looks pretty similar. It looks pretty hard to pull off. So how did you do that?
So if we're talking about this one does require just a little bit of French braid technique. However, you only have to do it on just one side. So we've kept it along just the side of the head here and only pulled 5 pieces into the left side only. So it's just a simple braid. You just incorporate one little side into the left and then you end up just finishing it with your traditional braid and letting it hang down. However, on the other side is what we will do that will look sort of like a French braid, except that it won't be. So it's very easy. So I'll come over here and do this now, actually.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
What you'll see a lot of as part of this tribal style is more of a vertical braid. So we're going to leave her bang out because Danielle loves to show her gorgeous long golden locks. But we're just going to scoop up just about 1.5 inches depth on the top of her hair here and do a traditional braid. So it will be kind of narrow and skinny to start. However, when we finish, we're going to kind of pull the petals out on the side to make it look really fancy, even though you did it in about 15 seconds. So. Also, one of the things to remember is I prepped her hair with a dry shampoo, which is great. You don't have to wait until your hair is already oily or sweaty to do that. If you're going to be a festival goer, go ahead and spray that all throughout your scalp and about 4 inches down, just to prevent any moisture or oil that's going to seep out. And that also gives your hair a nice bite or grip for all these braids to hang on to.
That is a great tip. Well, I will let you continue braiding Danielle's hair. I can't wait to see the finished braid. I'm going to check over here with Kayla from HGTV.
Hey.
We're going to talk about some festival fashion do's and don'ts. So Kayla, you've been to so many music festivals. How do you look fabulous while also beating the heat?
So if you caught us earlier over on, Travel Channel a few minutes ago, we were talking about, camping essentials and everything. But one of the most important things is what you wear, because it's going to be essential in keeping you cool. So you can spritz your face all day with water, but ultimately it comes down to what's on your body. Wearing vintage clothes, synthetics, those are awesome, but they're going to completely burn you up.
These denim shorts are vintage, these cutoffs, they're so cute. You see people wearing them all the time, but let's be real, like once it gets hot outside, they start sticking to all the wrong places.
Yeah, those don't do anything for my legs. So one of my favorite things to wear are maxi dresses because, they're breezy, it's just the best thing.
Let's talk about linen, because I know you're a big fan of linen. You've got some shorts here that are great because they're easy, breezy. These little sundresses are super breezy too.
Well, what I love best about the linen is, especially with these, is the drawstring, because you don't have anything like poking you in the stomach all day. And like I said, they're just really lightweight, so you don't have to worry about anything.
That's a great tip. Yeah, you don't want extra weight when you're dancing.
No, absolutely.
Now speaking of things that are breezy, I brought this top here. It's super cute. You can layer it over bathing suit tops or little bandeau tops. But word of caution, if you're going to rock these pieces, wear your sunscreen, apply every 2 hours. Otherwise, you're going to rock a lace pattern sunburn.
Yeah, that's not cute. So another thing, honey tea wear something underneath, like a little bandeau or a sports bra. You know, regular bras are gonna, you know, get sweaty and they're just not comfortable when you've been out in the sun all day.
Yeah, sports bras are really great, and any of that athletic fabrics, it's moisture wicking, and especially if you're out like 12 plus hours, you know, seeing and dancing and all that, you really need that moisture wicking.
Right.
So I brought this romper here. I love rompers. I know you do too.
I'm sporting one.
We love rompers, and they're super cute. They're super lightweight and easy. But another word of caution: sometimes when you use those porta potties, you end up taking the whole thing off, and you know it's not so great.
Not in the daytime, not in the nighttime. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
So what's with the scarves?
So one of my other favorite things is you don't really think of scarves in summertime or wearing them when it's 90 degrees outside, but I really love this when it gets to a point where you've been out all day. It covers your neck when it gets really hot. And then one of the other things about Tennessee music festivals like Bonnaroo is it's 95 degrees during the day and then 50 degrees at night. So it really does that 40-degree drop. And this really does something about, you know, covering your neck, and then when it gets cold at night, you can just cover up with it, you know, as a shawl during night shows. So it's a great kind of multi-purpose item.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned going to music festivals in the Southeast. You know, this summer, mosquitoes, everyone's really concerned about that. You know, try to, if you can, wear those light colors. Mosquitoes are attracted to darker colors, and also,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and in the day, you know, you're gonna burn up anyway. It's gonna attract more sunlight. So, you know, one of these things that's super light colors. It's an easy DIY. We just did a mock tie-dye of it. Super easy. I love these racerback tanks, and you brought that that tank as well. Those racerbacks are just so easy. You can pair them with like a sports bra or bandeau. You're able to move more, get a little bit more sun in other places.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, comment below with your fashion tips, your hair tips. How do you look fabulous in the summer heat? We want to know. We want to read those comments too. Let's go check back over with Danielle. Oh, this braid looks fabulous. Oh, it's so pretty.
So to finish this out, this is a great look for if you have finer hair as well. Sometimes when you do a braid, if you have little fine hair, the braid can end up really narrow and skinny. However, if you just hold the end here and go through and kind of pull the petals out on the braid, it makes it look a lot fatter, and like you have a lot more hair, and it's just more dramatic in general, which looks great. It adds to the style without adding a lot of time as well.
I have seen celebrities rock that on the red carpet, and I thought it was so much more complicated.
Yep, just really about knowing these tips and tricks, which is why we're doing this today.
Wow, and because you put so much of that product in the beginning, it's holding it.
Exactly, so you'll see a lot of these vertical braids the next couple of seasons, and it's really fun. You can French it if you want, but it really would look no different if you did, so that's why it's so easy and so fun. I've seen them if you want to leave most of it down, or you can do several.
That's so beautiful,
yeah,
I love
really
it.
fun. And so on the other side, we're just going to do the same thing to make that a little fatter. So you can go through and pull these petals, especially if you have one close to the head like this and you have fine hair. Make sure that you go ahead and pull those out. Again, that's what adds the drama, and it's super easy to do. Plus, everyone will think that you are a magician. So
easy.
We pulled that out. Let me show you the jewelry and how to put that in. It's really simple.
Jewelry for your hair?
It is. This is a new trend that is really just coming out. Not a lot of people have seen it before, but I think that it will explode on the scene. Not just festivals, but just summer hair in general. I've seen some stores come out with these, but honestly, you can go to your local craft store in the jewelry making section and find all kinds of fun actual jewelry that you'll see in this plate here, just in the self-jewelry making section. So if you'll notice, these are rings that already have an indentation or split in them, so you can just literally pull them apart and then put them back together very easily. So we're going to do what is known as kind of hair piercings here on Danielle. So we're going to come in just at the bottom loops and just put a lot of these little rings throughout.
Oh, wow.
So it generally looks best as if they are pretty close together.
Okay.
It kind of gives it that industrial vibe as well, which is really big, not only in fashion, but also home design, etc.
Yeah, it's very 90s.
It is, yes.
And so you can attach other things to those rings.
You
when you put
can.
them in? Okay.
So because I've done about 3, I'm going to get one where I've had this fun little spike as well.
That's
Also
fun.
pulls apart, and we'll just loop that one in there as well. So that's where the real drama adds. So
I
super
love
fun.
that.
So I'm going to continue this all the way down, maybe add some to the other side as well, and then we'll see what that looks like.
Great. Okay, I can't wait to see it. Well, we're going to check back with Kayla over here. Now we are talking all things footwear. It's really the most important part, right?
Yeah.
You're dancing for so long.
You're on your feet for 12 to 15 hours a day, waiting in line for shows, trying to get the front row at a show, trying to be in the pit. So your feet are really like everything.
I took my pedometer to the last music festival I went to, and I logged about 25,000 steps in a
Same
day.
here. I
think
mean,
most of it was dancing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about support. You've got some great options.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have them with me, but I really rely on canvas toms. Those are really, super important because they cover up your dirty feet, they keep your feet clean, and then you can just wash them or brush them off at the end, and you don't have to worry about, dirty toes in your camp at, your tent at night. So
Yeah, I mean, I went to Lollapalooza one year where it rained so much that it just became a mud bowl. And, you see all these people with gorgeous, gorgeous sandals, and they were ruined.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these. These are super fun.
So these are, they have like a yoga mat insole, and then they just have these cloth bands.
Ah.
And while they do have the thong between your toes and your feet are going to be open, they're a really good option if you don't plan on getting super close in the shows, and if you plan on kind of staying further back so you don't have to worry about your feet getting stepped on. They're super comfortable. I highly recommend those if you plan on doing a lot of walking and hanging out. And I'm the kind of person that when I lay out my mat for a show, I like to immediately take my shoes off.
Me too.
So that's a great option.
Yeah, I love those. I brought another pair of sandals. They're metallic, so they're still a little bit fashiony, but they've got a great footbed in them, which is great for arch support. You're standing on your toes like all day long, and especially after dancing for a couple of hours, you're going to need that extra support. So when we talk about support, I know that a lot of people watching will see all these sandals and they'll say, okay, but we still want to, we want to be fashionable. We want to wear our booties, and that's fine. I've done it too, a couple of times. I think I've regretted it sometimes, but a great way to add some support is just get some of those inserts. The gel ones are really great. Get some that fit really well, like test the arch and make sure it's going to align with your foot, and then pop those in. You will be thankful that you have them, come sunset if you've been on all day on them.
And at least make sure that you have some socks that hit up a little bit, maybe right to your ankles, so there's not a lot of rubbing. And if you watched our earlier video, I had some blister cream of like a blister rub in the fanny pack. That's a huge fanny pack essential. Always have something for your blisters, because you will get them inevitably. Hopefully not if you wear the right shoes, but
That's a great. I've heard that the baby powder works too.
Baby powder does
for
work.
Those rashes and blisters. Well, we've covered our footwear. Now let's talk about some headwear and accessories that you might want to rock.
So I will admit that one of my first Bonnaroo's, I wore a wool hat, and I hated myself so much for that because I just dripped in sweat.
I bet you looked good in the photos.
I looked great, but wool hats in 95-degree heat are not okay. So these really lightweight straw hats are absolutely the way to go. This is a really cheap version that you can pick up, at a local store. And then this one is kind of a custom version that I actually got at the music festival as a gift to myself. And you can get like a wider brim one that will cover your shoulders and really protect you from the rays. And then this one's more of a, you want to look really cute version. So.
Yeah, these are really great options. If you choose not to wear a hat, I always tell people to make sure that you put sunscreen on the part in your hair.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will have a really awful sunburn.
And it hurts to shower.
It does, yeah.
Every day.
It's awful. I mean, the heat I think is just the biggest part of combating music festivals and having a good time. And I see people rocking like metal accessories, those big watches, big gold chains, and that's got to be hot. You know, I think when you talk about like rocking accessories, you know, you really probably want to stick to like, you know, your beads, wooden beads, you know, have a pedometer on. Sometimes they're more fashionable than the one I have, to track your steps, but you even brought a sports watch.
Yeah,
last one.
I mean, usually my phone is 100% dead, and so I always like to have a sports watch just so I know what shows are starting. If I'm with, you know, if I disband from my group, I know to meet them at the clock tower at 5 o'clock. So it's really good to have some kind of, you know, sports watch or pedometer that has some kind of, you know, time on it. But you had mentioned something about, you know, if you wear cheap costume jewelry and it gets really hot, it's going to completely fade on you.
So one time I made the mistake of, it was a synthetic leather crossbody bag, and it was very cheap. It dyed, like the pattern where it went across, it dyed my shirt a different color. So for the rest of the day I had a sash on that was purple and my shirt was pink.
Fail. Hashtag fail.
Fail. Festival fail. I've seen where people have like really cute bracelets on, but it's, you know, that those cheap metals, and suddenly it's like staining their skin green.
Green, yeah.
Not a good look. Yeah.
I mean, I would keep the jewelry to a minimum unless it's just something that you have to wear, or it's at least something plastic that, you know.
Plastic's a great tip. If you guys have fashion accessory tips, footwear that you love to wear at festivals, your go-to, comment below. We want to know your ideas. Let's go check back in, see how Danielle's hair is coming along.
So we finished up the side with the hair jewelry, and you notice it's a really dramatic look.
That
it's
is cool.
A really modern look that you haven't seen a lot of yet. And we did it all in under like 5 minutes. So easy braids.
Wow.
There's not a lot of Frenching at all. Just a traditional 3-strand, and those just clipped in. It looks really cool. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys how to do is add a little pop of color. That doesn't have to be permanent if you don't want to.
Okay.
So we're going to be using a hair mineral chalk.
Okay.
It's a little bit different than just a regular chalk. It's more gentle on your hair.
Oh, great.
And we always recommend using a product that's going to be good for the earth in your body as well, and minerals are just better suited. So I've pre-selected a strand here that we want to add some color to. So how to make this stay is to actually wet the hair just a little bit with a hairspray first. So we're going to come in and just spray the bottom of her hair here. It's kind of windy, so sorry if it blows back on you some. Just on the front and the back. And then we're going to come in and pinch it. So we have a nice pink here, which is going to be fun, and her blonde hair. The good thing about wetting it is you can even have a dark brunette hair and it still shows up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So we're just going to pinch it. It usually takes a few times to cover it. It will be a little bit chalky at first, but as soon as we kind of shake all that dust out, then it will look super natural and fun.
There's so much pigment already. That's crazy.
It is. That's really the
amazing.
difference in adding that hairspray beforehand.
Wow.
So now you're just going to come in with your hand and just work the excess off by brushing it and then going up just a little bit with what you have left over on your hands to give it more of that subtle blend rather than a harsh line.
And how long will this last?
Really, this is going to stay in until you shampoo your hair. So
Okay.
it will come right out as soon as Danielle goes in with her shampoo. However, it stays in as long as she wants it to as well.
I don't
So
want to wash my hair now.
Exactly, super fun. And we'll finish this look with just another blast of hairspray, a little bit to seal it in. This way, if you are wearing those nice, airy, bright, light, white or cream clothes, it's not going to get all over that as well.
Yeah.
So that
was so easy.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
easy.
some of those hair chalks have really scared me a little bit. They seem intense, but that was super, super easy.
It is definitely so. Just make sure you add the hairspray first, and the rest is good to go.
Great. Jeremy, thank you so much for sharing your tips today. Guys watching, if you have any tips for festival fashion, just how to look great and beat the heat, keep commenting. We love hearing your ideas. For everyone who watched today, if you missed our earlier Facebook Live videos, you can see another one on Travel Channel and one on HGTV.com. where Danielle showed you how to shibori dye. And earlier, Travel Channel, we talked about our camping essentials and our fanny pack must-brings with Kayla. So if you missed those, be sure to watch those now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!